defense. That's UConn taking on San Jose next. 5 minutes in.
Been able to see the schedule because we're just gonna get straight into this game.
Indeed. Say you can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you get what you need. Seton University. Oh my goodness! Something Tone. That's Tone making some noise already.
Yeah, 13 seconds in, just able to get a great steal there, a great interception right off of the aerial, and just walks it all the way home. That's how you want to start this off, right? If you're seeing coming off that huge the loss, that was a huge series 2-3, so it was very close. And then not having a game last week, starting off hot, you want to keep it going. We'll see if Quinnipiac can counter early.
Man, oh man, that is not a step in that direction for the Q-men over here. That's Quinnipiac, 2-0, 23 seconds in. Not a good look so far. Now, Quinnipiac is not a team that's going to go quietly into this night, Jack. But so far...
No, I mean, again, it's a series, right? So it's a best of 5, first of 3, whichever way you want to look at it. So there's still plenty of time. We talked about that a lot in the last series. The thing is, I think the expectations are a bit higher here for Quinnipiac because they have gotten quite a few wins. They aren't at the tippy top of the standings, but they have been able to beat some teams around where they've been, which I think they were 4-3 at the end of the quarter split. I believe they're around that area. We know they lost last week as well, but they've still, they've gotten at least 4 wins on the season, so we know that they can get it done. The question is, can they compete against a top team? And last week they weren't able to do that against Delaware. Here, a win against Seton would be huge for their momentum, but this is not the start you want.
No, it is not. 60 seconds in, 2 up for Seton Hall. Has spent a lot of time on offense as well, but that is also coming off the back of that right there. Bam, perfect. Thank you, guys. Quinnipiac starts to take this away, but Seton Hall is so far back in position that is going to be way easier said than done. Here's a little demolition action on the defense. Vibe striking back with that one, little violence early on as well. Come on, guys. You're not even 90 seconds into this one. Tone across the middle, and an attempted takeaway from the bottom as well. Smiggy really keeping the cold hand on that one. And that was exactly what the doctor ordered.
You're just seeing right now that Slump and Tone has done a great job of winning those aerial battles, able to get great interceptions, able to win great 50-50s. So they really need to make sure that they aren't putting it into Tone's hands. And again, there's another great tackle. Yeah. Every time it looks like Quinnipiac is going to get something going, it's immediately taken away.
Ooh, have you played the NFL version? Or the, like the football version of this game, Rocket League? I can't remember the official name. Duke might actually be able to help me out.
The only version similar that I played is Lucio Ball.
Okay, that's fair. Well, fair enough. That is pretty much the exact same, honestly. So, outside of Rocket League, yeah, that's probably going to be your absolute closest solution, like outside the actual game. Anyway, the football version of this game is incredibly fun. It's kind of hard to pass the ball.
But yeah. Let me know what it is later.
There it is. I mean, a gridiron. That's what it is. Gridiron. There you go. It just takes a while. The brain's old. Be 30 in 10 months. Halftime now. 2-0. Score has not changed even through the efforts of Quinnipiac. That's fantastic, Grub. Oh no! Squanders the shot.
Yeah, just miscalculates where it's gonna be. But this might be another great opening if Smiggy can get the speed.
Man, oh man. Even, like, so no, he didn't have a whole lot of boost, but that was close to as open as you get. If he cuts a little bit more to the right side, shimmy shakes a little bit, it's not easy, but higher level players like these should be able to nail those. That just might be a little bit jitters, might have just been, these are also very, very split-second situations. I said it last time, Casted Rocket League, I'll say it again. I would say outside of some fighting games, you need faster reactions from Rocket League than pretty much any other esport. Especially when it comes to comms. Especially when it comes to comms.
Unfortunately, Quinnipiac not going to be quick enough on the draw there, but like what you said is perfectly articulated. You just have to be. You can't guess. You can't guess. You can't question yourself.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do, you got to do it quickly, and then if you do it wrong, that's something to think about later. But when you think about what you need to do in that second, it's that split second that will cost you. And Quinnipiac, they're putting up fight. We've seen great opportunities, just haven't been able to fully execute them just yet, and then they give up another goal. And 3-0, it's not possible to come back from with 1:30 left, but that's about a goal on average every 30 seconds, and now 4-0, and now it's...
Yeah, with 80 up top, 20-second average right there. What I really laughed about, I hope we can try and zoom in on Smiggy. I think he's commenting on, people's portrayal or whatever of this kind of aesthetic. He's got like the kimono stuff and then the fedora. Like he's got like the dragons and stuff, and also like the fedora up top. I'm trying to. There you go. There you can kind of see the dragon flames and whatnot over on the side. So maybe the kid who, or no, there you go. There it is. Guap Chop. Sorry about that. I mean, I think every high school had one of these. The kid who anime runs through the hallways.
Like the Naruto run.
Yes. I went to public school. There was not just one of them. We'll say. They hiss at people in the hallways and stuff like this.
Well,
I think that's the kind of the joke that's being made. I'm not sure, of course.
I'm not sure if anyone is exactly like that in this game. One thing I am sure of is that Seton Hall is just starting to run away with this a bit, at least in this first matchup. 5-0, 15 seconds left. So, I mean, you're doing the math, that's a goal every 10 seconds. And they haven't really been able to... Another thing I've noticed is that they really don't win kickoffs. It's almost been Seton Hall getting it every time. And then they've been able to kind of just do what they want with it. They've been very good at dribbling it down the field. And now it looks like there's a 2-on-1 attack being set up.
I'm not sure if you did this on purpose. If so, like, your brain honestly works faster and on different levels than mine does. So Seton Hall comes into this at 3-0, getting their third, so that's 30 seconds on average per goal. And you mentioned that. Then it goes from 90 to 80, they go up to 4, and it's a 20-second average, and you mentioned it again at 5, at 50, at a 10-second average. Again, if you did it on purpose, I can't give you enough props on that. As it is, Quinnipiac striking for their first. Again, no goose eggs on stream. It would be incredibly hard to get 4 here just to tie it up, but that's what we're looking at.
It's just that little bit of momentum. I mean, especially if you're scoring near the end of a matchup versus the beginning. It gives you something to, like, write home about. It gives you something to motivate yourself going into the second matchup in this series, especially if you can get a second one here, that'd be huge. I mean, there's a great attacking position. That goal is open. Is that going to be the second goal? Maybe again. It's just inches away from going in. We've seen that happen 2 or 3 times for Quinnipiac.
Still kept aloft. This would really be like big stuff, right? Like, I mean, 1 goal. Okay, so I was gonna say, there's a patent difference, even with Seton Hall getting 5 and a score difference of 1 to 2, right? Like 1 is you can almost attribute to a fluke, to just an over-aggressive defense or anything else like that. 2 is literally kind of making a statement as you're coming into your second game, saying that especially if they were kind of split apart like this, where the first one came pretty middle of the road for Quinnipiac and the second one came way later. It's basically saying, like, we can run. Doesn't really necessarily matter what time is on this clock. As it is, 5-2 for the side of Seton Hall. Quinnipiac's got a couple more opportunities on this one, and I would be very, very surprised if we have our game 2 that's the same amount of one-sided.
It's interesting because the scoreline is one-sided, but when you look at other stats like shooting, it's a lot closer, actually. Seton Hall did not get that many shots on goal. I think they got 7. So they're converting very efficiently, 5 out of 7. I don't know what the math is off the top of my head, but it's a very, very good percentage. But it just shows you that Quinnipiac, it's not worth it. It's just gonna make your brain hurt.
I kind of started and just like hit me like straight in the forehead. It's like, no, bad idea. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's all good. I totally understand. Math, not a fun time, but what it shows you is that Seton Hall, they're not able to get as many opportunities, but they're executing on them, which is important. But it also gives Quinnipiac more of a chance going into the second matchup because they were actually shooting a good amount. They weren't shooting as much. They weren't hitting as many shots on goal, but there were chances created. I think we noticed, though, that they just weren't able to execute nearly as well as Seton Hall was in that first match.
Yeah, the execution 100% there. Might be related to comms, who knows. Green up for teammates here. That was Seton Hall, so we have had a change in gamer tag. It was, he had a different name a minute ago. I can't exactly remember what it is. But tone is the same. Seton Hall. That is clever. That is clever. You love the memeing. You gotta love the little bit of wordplay that some of these players do get.
So far, these memes have been dreams for Seton Hall. I mean, they haven't looked back in the series just yet, but yeah, I mean, you're having fun of it. You're feeling confident. It's a good look after, what was a pretty devastating loss, I would say, even though it was a close matchup against UTA, but you need to rebound somehow, right? But, that's not a rebound. That's Quinnipiac taking the lead for the first time.
Guapo Chapo looking, what, muy guapo. Yeah, guapo, I think means attractive or cute or something like that.
It's like beautiful, attractive.
There you go. Okay. Well, that wouldn't be one just to repeat the word. I don't really think it's a play on words, but whatever. It looks beautiful, looks pretty. That's what I'm trying to get at. And at the end of the day, that's Quinnipiac striking first. That is the big takeaway from that first goal. Minute in as well, so if this is going to happen for Seton Hall, it's not going to happen super quickly. Bounce action. Players trying to, okay, so it looked like Vibes and Seton might have been out of, or at least towards the end of their boost, or that might have just been really, again, keeping the calm hand on this one, realizing he didn't need to get it going. Grubcat Smiggy deleted, sent back to their side of the field with a spanking. As this comes up, and there you go, that's Tone. Maybe coming back a little bit and speaking on why you shouldn't demo this guy and give him 34 in the tank just to play with.
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 demos that came out for Quinnipiac, but they were both on their side of the field. They weren't able to clear it out, and that lead that they had is gone very quickly. But it's good for Quinnipiac. I was going to say, like, you know, we talked about how, like, that momentum from that goal in the last series might carry over. They started off hot. They do give one back, but if they set the pace and they're able to make plays like this where they're able to get a few runaway plays and the ball isn't intercepted, they might give themselves a fighting chance.
Over the side, this is Vibes. Goes in the middle, and that's Tone Hall to the middle again. An absolute gut shot right here against Quinnipiac.
That was just textbook. It was beautiful. You're threading the needle. I mean, you look at the defenders, just right through both of them. You could not come out more clutch than Hall. I mean, like that's sometimes just like you're getting more lucky than good. But there, I really think that was just amazing game awareness and skill. They almost get one back right off of the kickoff, but that's going to be Seton Hall holding the lead for a little bit longer.
Nice redirect there, and then right back to the
it.
face. Grubcat right here with an absolute stuff.
And this is a match that we expected to be a bit closer. That first match in the series, it wasn't. I mean, there was definitely some bright spots with Quinnipiac, but now we're really seeing them play at each other's level. And this is great. This is what you want to see, not only with the audience wants to see, but this is what we want to see as casuals. We want to see teams going neck and neck. And now that Quinnipiac is playing a bit more fast and they're being a little bit more decisive on attack, they're keeping pace.
This is just simply what happens when 2 teams turn up the vibes. There you go. Across the middle, gets it with a rotation of his car as well as Green puts this up. That's money, pun intended. 2 minutes, 49 seconds on this clock as these 2 have been absolutely slugging back and forth with each other.
Yeah, and I don't even want to take up more of your time because I feel like there's going to be another goal right there.
Sorry.
He's so close.
The angle there definitely had it. That would have been our quickest goal on stream tonight, and maybe a heart attack on the side of the tugboat. Who knows? The Grubcat over to the side, trying, just really grappling with this player to try and get it off to the corner, but Vibes knows exactly where to go with this. That is a big pop. It's going to end up in the exact same position. Now, if this is left aloft, that'll be to the middle. Tone all the way back. He could not have read that that far away. It simply could not have happened. And now this is a Quinnipiac squad that should have scored 3 times now.
There are so many chances right there. And there you see there's the miscalculation. There's 2 players going for the exact same ball. Now they're able to get people back on defense, so it's not the biggest of losses. But if they had been playing different angles, playing different areas of the zone, areas of the field, that would have been a goal for sure, and things would be tied up.
Yeah, Seton Hall, not sure if it's a little bit of shookness or what, but Quinnipiac has been absolutely showing up. The response there from Seton Hall, maybe not there so much. Vibes just pulls the ejection seat out of that one, just gets out of dodge, and the good thing is good. Over the side, Tone is doing his job on there. Vibes actually gets just that slight vibration, just that slight little push away. That's all that's necessary. You don't always need like a big demolition or more. 90 seconds. Tone to the back, the middle. Getting a great job getting it over 1. Not going to happen on the second. Down bottom, reception is there for Green. Vibes the back man is there, but does not get a preferential hit. And Guapo Chapo comes up on that one and completely whiffs again. There was another opportunity down bottom as well. Smicky might not have had booster. He simply might not have assumed that his teammate was going to miss something that was a little bit more procedural, honestly. There it is. Grubcat not going to be denied thrice. It's the third for Quinnipiac. His second on 2 shot attempts, I believe.
And that was a third goal that should have come in a while ago. There were so many opportunities, I want to say 4 or 5 over the last like minute and a half. So you had to think, maybe if they hit one of the first ones, they would have been able to have the lead right now if with the series going. They're just doing a much better job, Quinnipiac is, of keeping it out of their zone, out of their need to do defense, and it's working out really well. Again, like Seton Hall has been able to score immediately after every time they give up a goal. And they're looking to do that right now. But one thing I want to talk about really quickly is I'm pretty sure there was a Rule 1 there, very briefly, that got canceled. So I'm going to have to watch the VOD back on that one.
Yeah, every time we've seen a Rule 1 to be started, it has been respected, at least in this now spring split for the EGFC. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not formally included, but if you do that, you're scum. That's wrong. It's called Rule 1 for a reason. It's called Rule 1 for a reason. Everybody knows.
Yeah, it's harsh, but true words have not been said, and it looks like we're going to be very close to going to our first overtime today of the broadcast, unless that shot goes in. It does not, and there are so many opportunities out for Quinnipiac to be coming up.
It's not done.
Can they find the shot here? Oh, it's going to hit the ground, and now it's golden goal time, Tugboat. Oh, this is getting exciting.
11 shots on 8, so really not that big of a difference right there, as well as we start our sudden death situations. Back to the middle, Green gets a decent little hit and tries for the guillotine. Head comes off from Tone as he is in the perfect position. The fake from his teammate really makes a Grubcat player. Oh, no, that was, yeah, excuse me, that was Smiggy actually biting on that one.
Yeah, Vibe was over the top. I'm not sure if it was a miss or if it was a misdirection. Either way, it worked out. And
well,
that was
biting. Yeah, it was like it's kind of biting for it, and then there was a really good coordination there.
Yeah, I mean, you're blocking the line of sight, and I mean, you see that a lot, especially in like hockey, where you're basically just trying to block out where the goalkeeper can see. There, it works out, and this is a much closer match than the previous one. This was one that Quinnipiac could have won, but now they're going to find themselves in an 0-2 hole. Only way they can win this one is a reverse sweep, but after that, I have hope. I have confidence that they might be able to bring this back to a match 4 or 5. Regardless, they looked much better, and there were chances for them to win that. There really were.
Yeah, I mean, don't want to be too harsh. Don't want to do a disservice to anybody watching by not pointing it out. Seton Hall, there was Quinnipiac, there was 3 different opportunities. Quinnipiac was in the orange that we watched literally one after the next after the next. And the first one was super open, so there's a little bit to be said for, oh, well, this was a little bit more expected, and so now what do? My mind wasn't going there. And that is, that again kind of defines your skill for higher level Rocket League players, like always thinking about the next, even if, the unthinkable happens, and what you are expected to see, based on angles, based on where players are and more, doesn't happen. Not that saying that Seton Hall players weren't necessarily in the right position, but definitely when it came out in the first, they were not ready for the second and then third. Third game starting now, though. Seton Hall up 2-0 after not close first game and a very, very close second game.
I think one thing we talk about a lot is, making the best out of a moment, meeting the moment. And when you see an open goal like that, sometimes you just get too excited that you kind of forget the basics, you forget your mechanics. And that can happen where you're ready to get the score going, but then you don't actually execute, or maybe there's just miscommunication because you're screaming and shouting in comms. But the thing for Quinnipiac is they almost were able to do it. Now the question is, can they actually do it? Can they win this matchup? Can they force more in this series?
Absolutely! Smiggy with a nice rolling play and even gets the back bumper against it. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Quinnipiac striking first on game 3. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack. They struck first on game 2 as well.
They did indeed, but then immediately Seton Hall answered, and then it went back to back to back for a little bit before Seton Hall had a bit of a lead, and Quinnipiac tied it up near the very end. But Seton Hall, again, they scored when it mattered most, and that's the difference between a good and a great team when they can clutch up, but they might be finding themselves in that 0-2 hole.
Smiggy does the smart thing and actually doesn't take this away, because it was definitely not obvious that Vibes was going to be able to really stretch out for this one. High flying. Oh, man. No, that's perfect. Grubcat getting under and using one of his 9 lives for it. Beautiful stuff. Grubcat now on the offense, trying to show what he can do on that side of the field. Tone getting up close and first, a nice body block on this. And they're flying Chapo player from the side here. Really slow play from Seton Hall, but that's because they can't afford to do anything quicker. Grubcat, again, man, talk about turning defense into offense and then not letting up for a second.
And that's the play that we've been kind of missing for Quinnipiac, the team play, where there's a bit of a deflection or there's a bit of a good pass, and then the follow-up, it's not there. Usually it has not been there. There's been follow-through, but they just haven't been able to actually execute it. They've just gone a bit too high, a bit too low, a bit mistimed, but there, it all adds up. And at Quinnipiac, they're building themselves a bit of a lead, and Seton Hall, we have not seen them have an answer just yet.
have not. What we've not really seen either too much is this ball living in the middle right here. Now, when Grubcat's at this front position part, frequently been bad breaks for the Seton Hall squad. As it is, nice takeaway attempt from Guapo there over to the side. Got it to the middle a little bit, but that had corner, and Grubcat started for another one. Now out. Guapo doing really big things on defense. Grubcat's really fighting for this one and gets under him a bowling play. Third score for the side of Quinnipiac. 3 minutes left on this one, so it would be very interesting if we saw Game 3 go 5-1, right, for Quinnipiac?
I mean, it'd be great, right? It's like the reverse of fate. It's the reverse of fortune. It's making a statement. I mean, I'm sure they would love to, like, I feel like you don't even care about necessarily how much you run up the score. You just want to get a shutout. And so far, you've been able to keep Seton Hall in their side of the field. They have not really been able to get much going, as I say that they do. But now it's going back to midfield. They get a demo, and this is a great 2-on-3 rush.
Yeah, so Quinnipiac, as a team that came through from the winter split, I believe 4-3 finishing there, is performing fantastically against a Seton Hall squad that is widely regarded and consistently regarded in EGFC as one of those top three. Again, playing that kind of paper, scissors, rock match with Delaware and the University of Texas Arlington. But halftime now, Quinnipiac is looking all gold, and there's a fourth! Third for Grubcat as he takes his hat trick on his third attempt as well. Man has not made an attempt he has not made in 3 minutes, or 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's what I was thinking. I mean, he's shooting 100 right now. 3 for 3.
100.
Also has 1 save, so an all-around game. But that isn't going to be one back. That's just going to be a great shot off the kickoff.
I really hope that's not the stop of momentum for the side of Quinnipiac. I do hope that it starts towards my narrative, you know, the script fulfilled at 5-1. That's a quick way for Seton Hall to get their one if they're just looking to fulfill the script again. But
they want to make sure really, you get what you want.
Yeah, exactly right. I really hope that Quinnipiac does not let that kind of interrupt their plan so far, because they've been playing very well. But that was a misplay. I mean, that is literally the first misplay that any team does. That any team does in any game, right? It's not a single player in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the kickoffs, with how quickly the ball can travel, you got to be careful about where they go. So you need to make sure that all your angles are covered for them. That time they didn't. It is only 1 goal, and like you said, like it's probably not going to kill their momentum, but does it build up Seton Hall's momentum? Because now you see they've been on the attack more than they have throughout this Game 3.
Yeah, Grubcat looking like a shark out here, just really, literally bumped, I think, all 3 members at least once in that previous offensive push from the side of Seton Hall. Little dual action goes. 1 player from both sides down. Now, Quinnipiac's player will be fighting to get back on in this. That's Grubcat at the front. Again, just getting absolutely ferocious with this. Quals and alls. We're back to the middle. Oh my. Okay. Tone did a very smart thing and just literally stops dead in his tracks as soon as he hits ground, because he sees where that ball is going.
One thing I want to mention really quickly, and this is just a back and forth battle so far, but there was a double demo that came out. Both the players demoed each other, and I thought that was hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen that as a caster, but it happens. And anything that happens, like anything like that, is always going to be in Quinnipiac's favor, because they have the lead, so they can keep just parking the bus and trying to play ahead.
Oh yeah. Every grain of sand that falls out the hourglass at this point eliminates that chronological resource. Going to be for the side of Quinnipiac. Now, if they're ahead by 1, different stories. Ahead by 3, very comfortable. Very comfortable.
And they still need 1 more to make sure that you get your script, but I think Seton Hall wants to try to disrupt that so far. Not been able to find that second goal. Almost gets it right there, but now Quinnipiac is on the counterattack. This
There's a run.
Be the goal.
Vibes does exactly what he needs to, gets exactly where he needs to get. Guapo on the redirect there on the defensive side. Back to the corner. Grubcat gives him good business, good body block on that. And now back, there's almost a second. It's gonna happen. So yeah, so for now the script has been deleted. They told me wrong, Jag.
You gotta get better writers, obviously. That's the answer there.
That's what it is. It's this season's writers.
Only 5 seconds left. This is going to be Quinnipiac forcing a match 4 in this series unless something incredible happens, but I don't think it's going to happen with that kickoff going the way of Quinnipiac. And
2 and 2 is just... Sorry,
reverse sweep. It's possible now. It's still, there's still ways to go for Quinnipiac. They're still going to win 1 more to get to that match 5, but I mean, they looked very sloppy in that first one, and since then, even though they lost the second matchup, I mean, just you can like see the turnaround, the transformation of this team. They did such a good job of keeping it out of their end of the zone in this one, especially.
Wow, yeah. Taking to the numbers again, Grubcat got his third there about, I think, 2 minutes left or so, and then did not get another attempt. Hey, didn't need it. The 1-4-2. Looking at member on both of these sides though, both Green and Guapo have 0 shots, but Green's got a goal in. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Again, Rocket League can be a little bit wonky in how it does award these points and medals and whatnot, saves, assists, everything else like that. So just you know, kind of a evidence of that.
Yeah, it's a weird stat for sure. I'm not sure. Maybe like they just barely booped it in, like they're the last touch, but not sure that doesn't count as a shot.
I mean, it
Regardless,
happens sometimes for own goals, but there was no own goal situations on
yeah,
that.
exactly.
So
Yeah, there was not an own goal situation in this game, at least. But regardless, they're gonna get credit for one. There's only 2 there, and I think the biggest thing is, again, you see that the shooting is very similar. The amount, I think it might have been exact. Actually, I'm gonna look at these handy dandy stats. So Seton Hall had only 1 less shot. It was
yes,
6-5.
6-5.
So
Yep.
there's 2 more goals coming out for Quinnipiac, but I mean, you can just tell like this is really neck and neck. These 2 teams are playing on the same level. The question is Seton Hall playing down a bit now, or is Quinnipiac just playing up? Or, you know, what's going on here? I'm not sure, but Seton Hall, they still have a lot to prove here if they want to go into these top 3 teams.
Well, I hear you. The easy answer in a different game where maybe Quinnipiac had something like 11, 12 shots with 4 made would be simply that Quinnipiac is getting way more opportunities. But unless I'm wrong, again, that was 5 shots attempted, 4 of them in, 80% shot completion on a full 5-minute game. That is ridiculous. 30 seconds into this one. Green looking to put his part in for the squad here. Smiggy stops ball momentum. Trajectory now going the way of Quinnipiac. Over the corner, tripled up there. Every Seton Hall member now on a run. Saw a little beginning of an offensive push. Tone's got a fantastic gut shot from the side right here. There's a little hard action at the end.
And that's the first goal that Seton Hall has gotten since the first matchup in this series. So finally they're starting off on the right foot. They haven't done that in a little bit. And I think they realized, like, hey, like, we can't just, like, sandbag this. Like, we really have to play at our best. This team from Quinnipiac, they came to play against us. They've started stepping up near the end. And if we let this go on, you know, we could end up losing the series now. Seton Hall,
Back pass.
Strong.
I do agree with you. There's never a time for Seton Hall. I mean, you could have made the argument last game a little bit, maybe towards the beginning, but definitely not now. No time to let off the gas here, take off the cruise control, you know, all the other car analogies that you want to throw on in there. Back to the middle. That's Green with a nice shot and hits the 4th man. Yes, that's the corner post. Green's not going to let this one go. Quinnipiac members, unfortunately, not anywhere close after a double up to the side. So, yeah, if we want to break down this play, there should have been another Quinnipiac member back if there had not been a double up from Guapo and from, I think that's Smiggy, who was on the side with him.
I don't remember exactly this, but your point is very valid. They just double up, they cover the same angle, and we saw this a lot in their first match, and that's why the scores run up on them a bit. So they can't go back to their old ways. They have to keep playing different parts of the field. They have to play different parts of the goal. I mean, it's not a very big area, but gotta make sure you also aren't overcommitting and both jumping for the ball. Make sure there's one person left for defense.
Exactly. Especially against a squad like Seton Hall or a squad like Quinnipiac. When Seton Hall starts doing that, I can guarantee you Quinnipiac will be running up these numbers. Double up on defense, never a good story. Really good job, honestly, on Quinnipiac, the defense so far. Like, earlier, obviously, you know, they made a mistake, but outside of that, really, especially when there have been rotated shot attempts on, been doing a great job. That could have been a very, very nasty pinch, but this is just flying back the other way of Seton Hall. Literally hit it so far, it started its own trajectory back towards their own goal.
And I think one thing that we're noticing is that Tone, like, was really quiet in the last 2 matchups, especially the last one. And now that Tone has gotten set up a little bit, they do have the lead, but there is Quinnipiac roaring back to life, so it's not over for them just yet. But I think the biggest thing is, Seton Hall, they really, I wouldn't say live or die by, but I think a big thing is, like, Tone being able to get up into the air and getting these great interceptions and these great tackles and being able to dribble the ball with teammates. When they play the aerial game, they are in a much better situation. Or, yeah, they'd let it happen again, Tugboat. They let it happen again right off of kickoff.
The nightmare cometh. That's what I'll call that one. That wasn't just a situation of getting the ball faster. I'm not sure if Guapo realized that his team. I think what it was, Guapo thought that his teammate was going for it, and so he has like kind of a half-hearted attempt from the front. Grubcat almost had the literal same exact opportunity though from a corner shot. Both of these teams needed like. Again, not trying to be too harsh. There's really no reason to not coordinate on kickoffs. You have like more time than you're going to have in Rocket League to make a decision than anything else.
One thing that happens is, you get a goal and you celebrate, and then you kind of lose focus of what's going to happen next. So you don't actually communicate about what's going to happen next. And now they're going to find themselves losing another goal. Oh, it's starting to fall apart for Quinnipiac. They brought it back. They looked so good in game 2 and 3, but here in game 4, Seton Hall showed us exactly why they've been at the top, near the top of the standings for most of the season.
This is what Seton Hall has learned. A lot of their takeaways have resulted more often in like big half pitch or more shots, like big rebounds. And so Green literally just sat back. He literally just sat on the offensive side of the field and just waited for the ball. Once it came, it wasn't high flying, it wasn't incredibly fast. So a redirect there was just really easy. And obviously, triple up on offense, Quinnipiac players just not there. Seton Hall getting really, really just bullied around on defense right now. Green trying to strike back on that one and actually gets a fantastic push. Grubcat does get up and get a hand on this one. That's just going to be a bare hand, and that's it. Back to the middle. Nobody on Quinnipiac is going to be able to touch this one unless both players miss. Smicky gets a hand on it.
And I think the biggest part of the reason why Quinnipiac won the third matchup in the series was that they kept the ball on Seton Hall's side of the field for most of it. This time, Seton Hall's been able to get a lot more tackling. They get another goal. Now it's looking exactly like the first matchup where it was 5-1. The play has broken down a little bit for Quinnipiac. I'm not sure exactly what changed. I think that they might have been shell-shocked for those first very 2 quick goals that happened at the beginning. And once you kind of like lose focus and you lose kind of track of the game from being down early on, it gets so much easier for Seton Hall to just run in and do what they want.
That was almost a maestro play, a beautiful painting unfolding before our eyes. A guillotine that kind of turns into a second attempt from the missed player, but unfortunately no poetry here today. 1 minute left, still definitely possible. Definitely slipping through, not going to happen when you're playing defense like that. Green has absolutely come alive here in game number 4. If you'll remember, Jag, unless I'm wrong, Green was the player on the side of Seton Hall that put up the 0, no shot attempts on it, and then the game before that was kind of a lackluster performance as well. And when I say lackluster, of course I mean proportionally to his 2 teammates. Just simply that Tone and Vibes were getting a lot more goals and whatnot.
Green only had about 2 assists the first game and then had that 0 shot, 1 goal last game, so they've been one of the quieter members. But it's worked out regardless, right? So, and Green actually in the first game of the series where they were looked at just as dominant, they were the one who popped off. They were the one who got 4 goals. So it's kind of like return to form for Green. It's good to have a low-rounded team where anyone can be that kind of carry potential. So this time Green going to step back into that spotlight, and boy, does Seton Hall look good.
Yeah, right now, again, it was there you go, they take away plays like that. Green wasn't waiting on this time, but given that they could put it to the left side where Vibes was, and no Quinnipiac players were already over there, so even if they have full boost, they simply can't beat him over there. That's the idea here, and that's why that Seton Hall has been on offense for 15 seconds or so. Big redirect, but this game is unfortunately over if you're a Quinnipiac fan. Another one right here. Oh, no, that's...
I feel like a bit of an own goal there.
Yeah, that was an own goal. Yeah, that was Tone. Just maybe getting a little fast with it. He knows this one is over. 6-2 will be our scoreline at barring another, barring another kickoff mistake.
Could happen, but regardless of which way it goes, Quinnipiac, they're unfortunately not going to be able to take the W on this series. It looks like they are seeing themselves in position to maybe get another goal, get 3-6, but as it gets knocked away by Vibes, that is going to be the end. Seton Hall, they are going to be the victors of what was a much closer series than probably they or some of our viewers may have expected, including me. I thought Quinnipiac, they could play up at certain moments, but that those 2 matches in the middle, 2 and 3, man, did Quinnipiac look good. It's a shame that it kind of fell apart near the end.
I mean, this is game 2 goes the other way. Like, that was our sudden death situation all the way down to the bottom. That was a 3-3, so not a high scoring affair, not not 2 teams that completely shut each other out by any means. But Seton Hall did take that, not by like the skin of their teeth. It was with some very skillful play, but the simple fact that they got down to that situation with the score difference of 1. We could still be watching this game if Quinnipiac had taken that there in game number 2. Quinnipiac then took game number 3, a little bit handed 2-4 on that, with giving the second goal away at like 6 seconds or something like this. So this game, that game 3 really was played at 4-1 or 4-0 for a while. Then game 4, excuse me, being a little bit different, 6-2 scoreline there after Seton Hall again just kind of like learns a little bit more. As it is, Quinnipiac will be more like kind of fighting to keep towards that more average kill or win-loss ratio. 4-4 was, or 4-3 was their winter split finish. Seton Hall continuing on a run, lost twice in the winter split and has not in the new spring split quite so far.
Yeah, and we're going to be having an interview with one of the players from Seton Hall, Green, in just a few moments. So don't be going anywhere. We'll be back with that player after this break.
And we are back here live, little EGFC action. We got my man Green on in here to give us a minute of his time after the 3-1 victory over their opponents. Green, you with me?
I'm with you. How's it going?
There you go. I'm doing well, doing well. Hey, I just got casted some awesome Rocket League. Got no complaints here. I got my man Jag here with me. He casted all the way through, and we got a couple questions for you. A little interview action coming at you.
All right, perfect.
Absolutely. I'm going to start things off. So first, I'm going to talk to you about, Seton Hall's overall standing in EGFC. You guys have been pretty dominant, have done really well throughout the season, but there was that pretty close loss to UTA. You lost 2-3. You had that week off. What was it like to bounce back this week?
It was nice. Today we played pretty well. The UTA game, we really felt like we should have won that, and I feel like that helped us prepare for like future games. So,
is there anything in particular that you've learned from that game?
Just playing around each other. To be honest, they're a really good team, and it was great competition. So, just playing around each other mostly.
I hope to see that rematch in the future. So it was a great game. We're going to be looking at some highlights here from that game you just played. But another question I had is about your own performance. One thing we noticed was that the love was spread around a little bit when it came to goals, but you in particular really popped off during the first and fourth match with the series, and then were a bit more quiet during the second and third one. So was that like kind of a bit of a role swap, or you guys were playing a bit like differently, maybe a different formation, or was it just kind of how it went down, and there was nothing in particular that changed that?
Yeah, I thought I played pretty well game 1 and game 4, and I don't know. I guess it was Tone and Vibe's turn to play well those other 2 games. So
nothing wrong with
yeah.
having your teammates come in and carry you sometimes. I know
Exactly.
I'm usually carried in the games I play, so it's all good. But that's it for me. I'm gonna throw it back to Tugboat for some more questions.
Yeah, so kind of similar to what Jag was getting at here. I wanted to ask you, again, we have Green here and the 2 teammates are Tone, Vibes. What do you feel like the trio of you guys do best together?
Our offense. I think our offense is definitely our best quality. Our defense could use some work, but it's definitely our offense. Our offense is very good.
Okay, gotcha. So between the 2 polars, the offense, defense, you'd say more offense.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Question. So Green actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but Green here, the name has an E on the end. I want to ask about that because a couple of my family members have that same as like the middle name or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm curious.
That's just my last name. It's really unoriginal gamer tag, but it's just my last name.
Gotcha.
It makes me feel better. Mine is literally just my initials, so I feel that.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, we all get inspiration for our tags from various places, but tonight has not been Mr. Green with the pipe in the dining room. It is Mr. Green on the Rocket League pitch, taking down the side of Quinnipiac University. Green, I appreciate you for coming on and giving us a minute of your time after the game.
No problem. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Well, anytime you win. We only have winners on interviews.
It'll be awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
There you go. Hey, there you go. Seton Hall, another team that you'll see on stream a lot more through the EGFC. Jag, I do believe, unfortunately, that's it for you. We'll have Seb coming in to cast with me.
Yep, absolutely. It's been a pleasure with you, Tugboat. Usually working Overwatch together. It's been fun to do some Rocket League with you as well. I hope everyone watching at home enjoys. But as Tugboat said, Seb's come in and there's still a lot more action to be had. So be sure not to be going anywhere because there's at least, I believe, 3 more games coming up tonight.
Yes, sir. But the Fairfield game did get postponed, so that'll be played on stream or off stream at some point between next game. But yes, I'm FBI Tugboat. My man Jag here. You can find him over on Twitter at JagCast, JAGCASTS. Man, Jukecast is out there producing away as well. JUKE Cast CASTS. Neither of these guys have any spaces or underscores in their name. A lot to be said for that. We'll be back with you guys with more Rocket League action in just a little bit.